What's up, Jokers? With our Fight Night event a day away, I guess it's about time I get into those esports rules I was working on all of the end of last year, huh? I guess it's a good time. Well, the overall view of those rules was to make the game a little bit faster and a little bit more engaging for people to watch and play. Because, to be honest, if you are a seasoned veteran of WWE 2K, you know these matches can be very long. Sometimes a good match can go for 15 to 20 minutes. And even under the rules, a really good match can still go for 15 to 20 minutes, but it's a lot less likely. So normally you start with 3 levels of health. You start with green health, and under these rules you start off with medium health, which is yellow. So you technically only have 1 bar to work through, and then once your red bar gets low, you're probably in trouble. And I mean, that's not to mention, you know, the fact that you can take limb damage and stuff like that. That's a side thought to this. We have the momentum is set to fast, so that means the rate at which you gain your finisher or your special moves is the highest that you can set it in the game now, right? That just means that there's more opportunities to see people hit their finishing moves, and that may or may not win them the game at any point in these matches. And I thought that was very important to have that dramatic effect. Like, you don't know when it's coming up. I mean, you do know if you watch the percentage meters, but you don't. You never know, and you never know if it'll be ball game or not. Under the default settings, usually by the time someone hits their finisher, there's very little chance you're going to come back from that unless you have a resiliency or are really good at playing the kick out game, which is kind of rough depending on what you get hit by. But that's neither here nor there. Most matches are going to be normal one-on-one. We will have to work and incorporate on doing things for like triple threat or fatal 4-ways or tag and stuff like that. But this is something I want to work on with people over the course of time as I get to play with more people and you know, things like that. No time limit. Matches are usually going to be like 10 minutes anyway. Entrance is off unless you were like in grand finals or something, or we're doing commentary and we need time to talk, you know what I mean? But other than that, no, we turn them off so we can save time. We start with no finishers. All run-ins are on. So if the AI wants to randomly run into your match, it's on, because I want that random dramatic effect of, yo, what the hell's going on? It's the AI ruining your match. And it could be in anybody's favor, so we never know. Recovery time, normal, so that, you know, it's normal recovery. The only thing that we're changing is the default health and the rate that you gain momentum. So everything else is pretty normal. Fair play is on, so we don't have creative wrestlers just coming in and destroying everything with their 99 overall. Blah, you know. General gameplay settings, weak detection, simulation, because I don't want to see Rey Mysterio suplexing the Big Show Andre the Giant. I want to keep the competitive integrity of the game so that weight classes matter. Like your decisions that you make, character select matter. Reversal limit is on because reversals are very important in these games, and if you can't manage your reversal stocks, then that's on you. That's a skill you have to learn. The submission mini game, I like the right stick. I learned and used it. You know, that's my go-to thing if you follow me on any social media. But it's actually a lot more fair than the button mashing system, so it's just gonna be that. And I think that's about it for general stuff. And let's get into some other things, shall we? Match types: normal 1v1, falls caught anywhere, backstage brawl, extreme rules, no holds barred. Pretty much all the same match types. So they just rolled in our hardcore matches. TLC and ladder matches are one and the same, so we're just rolling those into ladder matches. The Hell in a Cell is really buggy, so I just leave that one out, to be honest with you. Steel Cage is a match, Iron Man, Last Man Standing, and my favorite, Submission. And of course, table matches are all good. So aside from that, like, that's what we're looking at for the match types in a nutshell. I can get into specifics in another video. Now, overalls in this game important because you can be an advantage, but they also are not important because if you make a mistake, you can turn around and lose, and you're gonna be mad because it happens. This game is really based on momentum, and it just happens sometimes. You will lose in the blink of an eye. Before you know it, bam, match is over because you got a move reversed, and now you lost. With that being said, AJ Styles Gold is banned because he's banned. 99 overall, max stats and everything, banned. That's why fair play is on. No creative wrestlers. I don't want no random nonsense. Just straight up 1v1. Pick your favorite wrestler. Pick the wrestler you're good at, and get her done. Right. So on the character selection, we need a way to rock paper scissors or some other way to determine who picks first. Because who picks first is really kind of important. You get to put yourself at a disadvantage because you have to lock in first, and you can easily be counterpicked, but you can also give yourself a major advantage because you technically get to add a stipulation to the match. So if you prefer to only play as women wrestlers and there's nothing stating that you can't, if you pick a female wrestler, then your opponent has to pick a woman wrestler as well. So you can do it that way. You can just pick Nia Jackson. Now you can't be counterpicked, but you can still lose. So you have to keep that in mind. Also, managers. I didn't want to ban managers because managers are part of the game and it's a play style. So my proposal for this is if your character naturally has a manager like a Paul Heyman or a Stephanie McMahon or a Vince McMahon or a Lana, or you're playing Andrade and you have Zelina, or you're playing Ric Flair has Bobby the Brain Heenan, yada yada yada, etc. etc. It's fine to use them, and they are stronger than the actual wrestler managers that you can have, and also to negate you blocking out your opponent's pick by picking on a wrestler, like it's your manager is an actual manager or you don't have one. No wrestlers allowed. Don't pick Adam Cole and have Roderick Strong at ringside. Don't do that because I want to keep it fair, but also give you room to be creative and make your own way with this, so it can be fun and exciting. So these are your minor paybacks. I'm not going to go over them from left to right. Auto reverse. When this fills up, you can automatically use it to perform a minor reverse. Like somebody kicks you, you can automatically reverse it. Possum, you can play possum while you're laying on the ground, and you can either hit your opponent or roll them up for a pin. Speed buff, you get more speed and agility. Additionally, improves the rate you regenerate stamina and reversals. Fist of Fury makes your strike stronger, gives you minor speed boosts, and makes your reversal strikes better. Instant recovery, if you're laying down on your back, you can, kip up, like your Shawn Michaels or your Undertaker when he, rises up. And reversal, you get an extra reversal stock. These are small, minor things that add to your gameplay. If you are using maybe like Speed Buff or Fist of Fury, they might make certain characters way better or way worse. So there's that. These are our level 2 paybacks. You only get one of these per match. Once you fill it up and use it, it's gone. The first one as a finisher pretty much gives you a finisher. Resiliency is probably one of the best ones. You escape a pin, submission, or elimination minigame by just pressing a button. Adrenaline buff gives you more adrenaline. You can lift more weight, and you gain more momentum for performing lifting grapples. Tank buff makes you a tank. Increases your defense. Reduces your mobility. Low below poison mist and power the punch. All illegal moves that can either get you disqualified or gain you a really big advantage. Run-in summons an ally to help you to ringside. And Move Thief steals your opponent's finishing move pretty much. Blackout is actually banned because Blackout gives you a free move. And I'm going to show you how that works. You might have caught this one earlier, but pretty much screen blacks out, you get a free attack. Upon completing that attack, the opponent gets a yellow debuff, which means they can't reverse. So as you can tell, it can probably get really strong once you get into like finishers that you can't reverse and you can't do anything after. It gets kind of ridiculous. So let's just take that out. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to make things better. And like I said, the last 3 on the at the bottom, they're all exclusive to my player created wrestlers, so you don't have to worry about those because they're bad. But I do want to touch on the run-in mechanic. Now you might think run-ins are something that should not be allowed, but run-ins do not win the game automatically. You can still react to what's going on, and pretty much you still have a chance to win if somebody calls a run-in on you. So it's not the end of the world. That's why I allowed it, and it's something fun, random. It's different. It shakes the game up a little bit. But to note about run-ins, if a player is using a manager, then it cancels out the run-in ability entirely. Like you cannot bring it into the match. It doesn't work. So that's another layer on selecting managers. Like, do you want a manager so you don't have to worry about run-ins at all? But then you have to play a wrestler that already has a manager as a manager. If your opponent picks first, but they didn't pick a manager, you can pick run-in, or that's if you don't want to use a manager, you don't want your opponent to use a manager, you can just select run-in. Now they can't use a manager because that will block out your run-in. So there's stuff like this. Many games you can play at the select screen and make things interesting. So that's what I got for the time being. Hopefully you'll join us this Friday and see what it's about. You get your first exhibition of it, and hopefully it can grow into something bigger that is not just entertaining but also competitive, because that's kind of my thing, and this series is kind of my thing. But until next video, I will catch all of y'all jokers later.